Have you ever wondered why some people, even those who earn a lot, are always broke, while others, with modest incomes, manage to save, invest, and live without worry? It's not just about how much money you make. It's not even about what you do with your money. It's about how you think about money. Because in the end, money is a mirror. It reflects your mindset, your emotions, your deepest beliefs. It's not just a means of exchange, it's a tool of power. It's a projection of your inner world. If you believe that money is hard to get, it will be. If you believe you don't deserve it, you'll subconsciously push it away. If you think money is corrupt or evil, your mind will find ways to avoid it, to protect you from it. Most people have an emotional relationship with money they're not even aware of. They love it and hate it at the same time. They want it, but feel guilty when they have it. They desire it, but criticize it when others have more. And that creates a brutal inner contradiction. You chase something that, deep down, you believe is wrong to have. The result? Self-sabotage. That's why the first step is not to learn how to save or invest. The first step is to clean your mindset, to question your beliefs. What did they tell you about money when you were a kid? What did you hear at home? Maybe you heard things like, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are selfish. You have to work hard to earn money. Well-meaning phrases, but they've shaped the way you see the world. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a mindset problem. If you believe that only by working harder you'll earn more, you'll trap yourself in a loop of effort and exhaustion. But if you shift your perspective, if you start to see money as a flow, something you can attract, organize, multiply, everything changes. This isn't wishful thinking. It's not manifestation magic. It's about understanding how your brain works, how it reacts to what it sees as value, risk, reward, or loss. Take this example. Many people buy things they don't need just to fill emotional voids. Money becomes a drug, a band-aid for insecurities. They shop to feel worthy. They spend to impress. They use money as a mask. And the system knows this. That's why you're constantly bombarded with ads designed to make you feel incomplete, insecure, inadequate, until you buy something. Then you feel better. For a moment. Then comes guilt, debt, anxiety, and the cycle begins again. The only way out is to wake up, to start seeing money with new eyes, not as a source of anxiety, but as a tool, not as a goal in itself, but as a means to build the life you choose. But that starts with uncomfortable questions. Why do I want money? What do I think will change when I have it? What am I willing to give up to get more? And what am I willing to learn to manage what I already have? When you understand that money won't solve your life, but it can help you design it with more freedom, you begin to relate to it differently. Money doesn't change you. It amplifies you. If you're generous, you'll be more generous. If you're fearful, you'll be more fearful. If you don't know who you are, money will confuse you. That's why the real work starts inside. Traditional financial education teaches you how to budget, avoid debt, invest. And that's fine. But without a mental, emotional, and even spiritual shift, all of that is just surface level. Because your results will always reflect what you believe you deserve, not what you want. They'll reflect what you think is possible for you. So before you check your bank account, check your thoughts, your inner dialogue. What do you tell yourself when you see your paycheck? How do you feel when you pay bills? What emotions arise when you see someone with a lot of money? In those answers, you'll find more clues than in any financial course. Working on your relationship with money is like therapy. You need to revisit wounds, memories, patterns. And once the ground is clean, you can start building again. But this time with solid foundations. Part 2. How to attract money without chasing it. A lot of people think that to have more money, you need to move faster, do more, stay busier. They believe that the more packed their schedule is, the more money will show up in their bank account. But that's not always true. In fact, sometimes it's the opposite. There are people who are busy all day and still remain broke. Why? Because they're doing the wrong things. They're in chase mode instead of attract mode. Chasing means running after things with anxiety. It's a mindset of scarcity and urgency, where nothing ever seems enough. Money becomes a prize you have to hunt, like it's some slippery prey, and you become its slave. You run after it. It slips away. You catch it, but it disappears fast, and then you start all over again. Attracting money means something completely different. It means creating value. It means becoming someone who gives off a certain energy, a certain attitude, a certain skill. That money naturally gravitates toward. Money doesn't come to you just because you want it badly. It comes to you when you become someone who knows how to use it, who respects it, who multiplies it. Want to know what really attracts money? Solving real problems, having valuable skills, being reliable, knowing how to communicate and connect, knowing how to sell an idea, a product, a solution, or even yourself. Money follows value, not effort. You can work 12 hours a day hauling boxes and still earn a pittance. Or you can work 4 hours a day creating content, helping others, designing digital solutions, solving meaningful problems, and earn 10 times more. The difference isn't how much you work. It's where you direct your energy. And no, it's not just about doing what makes money. Because if you're acting out of fear or desperation, you won't attract anything good. You'll burn out. You'll fall into survival mode. You'll spiral into exhaustion. Attraction starts with calm, with focus, with knowing who you are and what you're good at, with accepting that you don't need to please everyone. You don't need to do everything, and you don't need to be an expert at every skill. You just need one thing: to solve a problem that people value. When you become useful, money finds you. And we're not talking about being a slave to others or giving yourself away. We're talking about recognizing your talent, developing it, making it visible, and putting it to work for the world. That's what entrepreneurship really means. And no, you don't need to start a company. You don't need an office. You can do it from your home, from your phone, from how you interact with your environment. Being someone who attracts money also means being someone with boundaries. Someone who says no. Someone who doesn't jump into every opportunity just because there's money involved. Someone who doesn't get manipulated by fear. Who knows how to wait. Who doesn't underprice their time out of desperation. Most people are so busy trying to make money. They don't realize they're spending their whole life doing it. And the saddest part? Many do it for things they don't even need. That's why one of the biggest keys to attracting money without chasing it is clarity. How much do you really need? Why do you need it? What will you do with it? What kind of life do you want to build? And most importantly, know this: your worth is not defined by how much you have. It's defined by how much you impact. Another key: be at peace with the present. This might sound strange, but it's essential. If you're always focused on what you lack, on what's missing, on how you're struggling, that energy shows. In your words, in your body language, in your decisions. You vibrate scarcity. And from there, attracting something better becomes nearly impossible. That doesn't mean settling. It means recognizing what you already have, celebrating it, and expanding from there. No one wants to give money to someone who seems desperate, but they do want to give it to someone who radiates calm, confidence, and clarity. Another principle: take care of what you already have, even if it's a little. If you can't manage $100 well, why would the universe trust you with $10,000? A lot of people say, "When I have more, I'll be more organized." No, you won't. You'll handle it exactly the same way you handle your money now, just with more at stake. That's why so many lottery winners end up broke. They never learned how to attract money. They just received it suddenly, and let it slip away just as fast. Attracting money is an art, and it can be trained. Observe, learn, read. Listen to people who are doing it well. Not those driven by greed, but by intelligence, by strategy, by balance. And if you don't have money right now, start by attracting other things. Opportunities, knowledge, connections. That's wealth too. Never underestimate the power of a conversation, of a new idea, of a seed planted. Sometimes, a single connection opens a door that's worth more than $1,000. There are people who come into your life and completely change your financial reality, not by giving you money, but by giving you tools, clarity, inspiration. That's invisible capital, but it's real. So yes, you can attract money, but it starts with becoming someone who respects it, understands it, takes care of it, and most importantly, doesn't need it to feel valuable. When you let go of that need, you release the pressure, and money starts to flow. Part 3: The value of time, and how we waste it without realizing. If you had to put a price on 1 hour of your life, how much would it be? Take a second to really think about it. Not what your job pays you per hour, but what that hour is truly worth to you. Because here's a truth we often ignore. Your most valuable asset is not money. It's time. Time is the only currency that never comes back. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. You can lose money and earn it again. But time doesn't return. And yet, most of us treat it like it's worth nothing. We lose hours scrolling aimlessly on social media, watching shows we don't care about, talking about problems we never solve, doing things that don't move us an inch closer to our dreams. And we justify it by saying, "I'm just relaxing. I need a break. I'll get serious tomorrow." But deep down we know we're throwing away a resource more valuable than any paycheck. Here's a hard truth. The money you earn is directly tied to how you use your time. Not how many hours you work, but how you use them. There are people who work 12 hours a day doing something they hate, just to survive. And there are others who work 4 hours a day doing something they love, something they've mastered, something they've learned to turn into value, and they earn 10 times more. Why? Because they've understood this. It's not about how much time you spend. It's about where you invest it. The world is full of busy people. But being busy is not the same as being productive. It's not the same as being profitable. Being busy is easy. What's hard is being focused. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to something that could change your life. Every time you choose mindless entertainment over intentional action, every time you delay a decision, every time you procrastinate on your dreams, you're not just wasting time. You're mortgaging your future. This isn't about living obsessed with productivity. It's about living with intention. Making sure your days don't slip through your fingers. Making sure each week has meaning. Each month brings you closer to something you chose, not just something you survived. Money is also a consequence of how you manage your time. Imagine you get 24 tokens every day, one for each hour. You can invest those tokens however you want. Some choices will return more tokens later. Some won't return anything. And some will even cost you in the long run. If you spend 5 hours a day on social media doing nothing productive, by the end of the month, you've spent 150 tokens on empty entertainment. Now ask yourself, what could you have built with those hours if you'd used them with purpose? The truth is, no one steals your time. You give it away. When you let inertia, fear, laziness, or distraction run your day. Now, this doesn't mean you have to work all the time. Rest is sacred too. But there's a big difference between resting to recharge and numbing yourself to avoid thinking. Many people live in a constant daze. They jump from one distraction to the next, from their phone to the TV, from noise to more noise. And underneath all that, there's something they're avoiding, their own dissatisfaction. That's why the first step to transforming your relationship with money is to look at how you use your time. Ask yourself uncomfortable questions. How many hours a day do I dedicate to personal or professional growth? How many hours just slip away without me realizing? How many things do I do on impulse? And how many by conscious choice? What habits bring me closer to the life I want? What habits are silently pulling me further away? The majority of people don't fail because of a lack of talent. They fail because of a lack of focus, a lack of structure, a lack of a plan. And the worst part? Most people know what they should be doing, but don't do it. Why? Because they're comfortable in what's familiar. Because real change is uncomfortable. It requires effort. It invites misunderstanding. And so they get trapped between what they want and what they fear. Breaking that pattern starts with one decision. Put a value on your time. That doesn't mean becoming a robot. It means being aware of your choices. If you choose to watch a movie, enjoy it fully. If you choose to do nothing, do it with pleasure. But don't do it out of habit. Do it because you chose it, because it mattered to you. That's the difference between people who live with financial freedom and those stuck in scarcity cycles. It often starts with how they use their time. When no one is watching. While some people are putting out fires, others are building systems. While some complain, others learn. While some compare themselves, others create. And every single day you choose. Because every time you say, I don't have time, What you're really saying is, that's not a priority for me. So choose wisely. Make space for what matters. Eliminate what doesn't. Learn to say no. Learn to plan. Learn to rest with intention. Work with focus. Live with clarity. Because when you start to value your time, money starts to value you. Part 4. The Money Game. The rules no one taught you. Money isn't just numbers. It's a game. And like every game, it has rules. The problem is, most people were never taught those rules. We were taught to study, to work, to behave. But no one showed us how to win the money game. That's why there are so many honest, hard-working people trapped in scarcity. They're playing blind, without knowing how the system works. And worse, there are others who do know the rules. And they use them to take advantage of those who don't. So what are these hidden rules? Let's break them down, one by one. Rule number 1. Money flows where there is organization and clarity. If money comes in and you don't know where it goes, it vanishes. Just like that. Money doesn't like chaos. If you don't control it, it will control you. You need to know exactly how much you earn, how much you spend, where you spend it, and why. This isn't about obsessing. It's about being aware, facing the numbers without fear. Only then can you make powerful decisions. Rule number 2. The people who earn more aren't the ones who work the most. They're the ones who understand the system. There are people sweating in factories, hospitals, fields all day, and they can't make ends meet. Meanwhile, others sit with a laptop and generate passive income. Is it unfair? Yes. But it's real. The world doesn't reward physical effort. It rewards strategic value. Rule number 3. Money multiplies through networks. If you're the only one responsible for generating your income, your limit is your energy, your time, your health. But when you learn to delegate, automate, partner, or scale, the game changes. You begin to multiply without burning out. It's not about doing more yourself. It's about making more things happen without you always being there. Rule number 4. Financial education is not optional. It's urgent. No one's going to teach you this in school. No one's coming to rescue you. If you don't educate yourself, you'll always be at the mercy of those who did, and they will make decisions that affect your life. Banks, governments, corporations. If you don't know how the game works, you'll become part of the background. Rule number 5. Money goes where it's welcomed. This might sound spiritual, but it's not. If you constantly talk badly about money, complain about it, feel that it's dirty, evil, or only for corrupt people, why would it ever come to you? Money flows where there is gratitude, where there is respect, where it's seen as a tool of freedom, not as a demon. Rule number 6. Debt can be a weapon or a trap. If you use debt to buy things you don't need, it destroys you. But if you use it to build, invest, learn, or grow, it can be a powerful lever. The problem is, no one teaches us to tell the difference between good debt and toxic debt. And many drown trying to look rich before they've even built real wealth. Rule number 7. Your habits matter more than your income. You can earn a lot and blow it in a month, or earn modestly and build wealth with discipline. The difference is in your habits. The habit of saving, the habit of investing, the habit of separating your money, The habit of prioritizing. What you do with $100 is what you'll do with $10,000. Rule number 8. Comparison makes you mentally poor. When you live constantly looking at what others have, you lose focus. You get frustrated. You feel desperate. You devalue yourself. Money should never be a tool for competition. It should be a tool for expansion. The only valid comparison is this: are you doing better than you were yesterday? Rule number 9. Rich people don't just think about earning more. They think about making money work for them. That's a huge difference. While most people work for money, those who understand the game build vehicles, businesses, investments that generate income even while they sleep. Rule number 10. Fear of money destroys everything. Many people are so afraid of losing money. They never move it. They hold it, hide it, freeze it. But stagnant money rots, like still water. You need to move it, circulate it, strategically, intelligently, with purpose. And here's the most powerful truth of all. Money obeys inner leadership. If you don't lead your life, your money won't have direction. If you live reactively, chaotically, without purpose, your finances will reflect that. But if you decide to take the wheel, to take responsibility, to plan, to invest in yourself, then your money starts to align with your vision. It doesn't matter where you are today. What matters is that you understand the rules and start playing your game, not against anyone else, not to compete, but to build your freedom. Because everyone plays their own game. What matters most is that you know what yours is. And if you don't know it yet, start with this one question. What kind of life do I want? And what kind of relationship do I want to have with money? If you answer that honestly, the rules will start to make sense. Part 5. Silent Wealth. How to build real abundance without showing off. One of the biggest traps of money is the need to show it off. That's where so many people lose their way. They want to look successful before they've actually built success. They want to live like the rich before they've created real wealth. They want external validation, even if it costs them their internal peace. And in that race to prove something, they start spending more than they earn. They get into debt. They prioritize image over reality. They live for others instead of living for themselves. But real wealth, it doesn't make noise. It doesn't have to prove anything. It's not measured by brands, cars, or Instagrammable vacations. It's measured in freedom, in peace of mind, in having options, in being able to say, I don't want that. I don't need that. I'm not interested. Silent wealth is that kind of abundance you can't see, but you can feel. It's knowing you can sleep peacefully because your finances are in order. It's being able to take a month off without everything collapsing. It's having control, not being a slave to bills or image. And you know what? There are people who earn less than you, but live better, because they learned how to build, slowly, steadily, strategically, because they understood this. Showing off wealth is spending money. Building wealth is learning to multiply it. There's someone making 3,000 euros a month and spending 3,500 euros. And someone else making 1,500 euros and spending 900 euros. Guess who sleeps better at night? Silent wealth starts with living below your means. not out of fear, but out of strategy. Because every euro you don't spend is another brick in the construction of your freedom. This isn't about being stingy. It's about having clear priorities. It's about understanding that every time you don't spend on something unnecessary, you're investing in something greater. Your peace of mind, your future, your dreams. There's a kind of wealth you can't see, but it changes your whole life. Black small square, having an emergency fund. Black small square, being free or almost free of debt. Black small square, earning passive or automated income. Black small square, having clarity around your finances. Black small square, being able to say no to a job, pressure, or a bad offer. That's the wealth that really matters. And that kind of wealth doesn't happen overnight. It's built with habits, with discipline, with focus. Start by asking yourself, what am I paying for just to fit in or impress others? Do I really need the latest phone? The designer clothes? Dinner out 3 times a week just to not seem cheap? A monthly car payment for a vehicle I barely use? Many people are enslaved, not by money, but by the lifestyle they're trying to maintain. A lifestyle they don't even enjoy. An image they don't even believe in. And that doesn't just consume your money. It drains your energy, your health, your time. That's why the truly free people are often the most discreet. They don't show off. They don't flash. They don't need to prove anything, because they know who they are. Their wealth isn't in what they show. It's in what they've built, in silence. Silent millionaires don't dress like millionaires. They don't brag. They don't compete. They just live peacefully, steadily, with the power to decide. Because they don't need anyone's approval. You know what one of the most powerful feelings in the world is? Walking into a store, making a big purchase, and knowing you can afford it, without fear, without checking your account, without crossing your fingers. That's not achieved by earning more. It's achieved by managing better, and by cultivating patience. Because silent wealth isn't built fast. It requires saying, "Not yet," again and again. It requires waiting, prioritizing, thinking long-term. But it's worth it, because it gives you something no one can take away. Inner power. When you know you can live with less, nothing can enslave you. When you know you can rebuild from zero, nothing can scare you. When you know your value doesn't depend on what you have, no one can manipulate you. That's where true abundance begins. So if right now you can't afford luxuries, don't be ashamed. You're building. You're planting seeds. And if you do it with awareness, focus, and humility, the day abundance arrives, you'll hold on to it without fear. Because you won't just have money. You'll have become someone who honors it. Part 6. Millionaire Mindset. Habits that change the game. Most people want millionaire results, but they still think like poor people. They crave abundance, but they keep acting out of fear, out of lack, out of resentment. They want freedom, but they make decisions from pressure, urgency, and the need for approval. The difference between those who build real wealth and those who just survive rarely comes down to talent, comes down to mindset, and even more than that, comes down to habits. Because your daily habits are the invisible bricks of your financial future. What you do every day without thinking shapes your economic reality more than any stroke of luck. So let's look at the habits that people with a true wealth mindset share. Habit 1. They treat their attention like a valuable asset. They know that what you consume shapes what you believe. They don't waste hours comparing themselves on social media, watching junk content, or reacting to news they can't control. They use their attention like a tool. They read. They listen. They observe. They learn every day. And they surround themselves with ideas, people, and environments that lift them up. Habit 2. They don't spend impulsively, they spend intentionally. Before they buy something, they ask, "Do I need this? Do I truly want it? Does this move me closer to my vision?" They don't buy out of anxiety, boredom, or social pressure. They don't live for what others think. They live with intention. Habit 3. They have a minimum daily learning routine. A video, a book, a conversation, a podcast, something every day that feeds their mindset. Because they know that knowledge doesn't just give you tools, it gives you confidence. And confidence creates opportunities. Habit 4. They don't play the victim, they take responsibility. You'll never hear them say, "It's the system's fault. I wasn't born lucky. Nobody taught me." Even if those things are true, they don't stay stuck there. They ask, "What can I do with what I do have?" That attitude changes everything. Habit 5. They invest before they spend. They've developed the habit of separating a small part of every income, no matter how little, to plant seeds. They know that money that's only spent disappears, but money that's invested can come back with friends. Habit 6. They surround themselves with people who think like them, or better. They don't waste time justifying their vision to people who don't want to grow. They find their tribe. They stay close to people who push them to do better, because they know your environment is your thermometer. What feels a lot or a little depends on who you're standing next to. Habit 7. They plan, but they also act. They don't get stuck dreaming or waiting for the perfect moment. They have clear goals, defined steps, and most importantly, constant action. Because without action, there's no transformation. Habit 8. They speak respectfully about money. They don't say things like, "Money is dirty." "Only greedy people are rich." "Money corrupts." They talk about money as a tool, an energy, an extension of their impact, because they know if you despise something, you'll never attract it. Habit 9. They fiercely protect their energy. They know that if they're exhausted, stressed, or mentally overloaded, they can't create. They can't decide well, so they sleep well. They say no. They unplug. They take care of their mind, their body, and their emotions, because they understand their most valuable capital is their vitality. Habit 10. They don't live only for today, but they enjoy the present. They can think long term. They plant seeds today that will bear fruit tomorrow. But at the same time, they appreciate what they already have. They don't live bitter, waiting to get rich. They enjoy the process, every step, every improvement. Now, these habits don't appear overnight. They're trained. Sometimes they're dropped and picked back up, But each one adds up, and little by little, without even realizing it, they begin to rewire how you think about money, and how you live with money. And here's something else. People with a millionaire mindset don't need $1 million in the bank to feel abundant. Their abundance starts inside, in how they think, how they choose, how they live. That's why, even if they lose everything, they know how to rebuild. That's real wealth. The kind no one can take away from you. Which of these habits do you already have? Which ones do you want to start today? It's not about doing them all perfectly. It's about progress. One step forward. One pattern broken. One excuse dissolved. One habit added. Because in the money game, the one who wins is the one who never stops growing. Part 7. How to build multiple sources of income without going crazy. One of the most repeated ideas in personal finance is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And it makes total sense. If all your income comes from a single source, you're at risk. If that source dries up, everything collapses with it. But here's what no one tells you. Creating multiple sources of income doesn't mean doing 1,000 things at once. It doesn't mean running yourself into the ground. It doesn't mean monetizing every hobby until you're burned out and joyless. Having multiple healthy, stable income streams, aligned with who you are, is a freedom strategy. But it only works if you do it with clarity, structure, and focus. Let's break it down. First, understand this. Not all income streams are created equal. There are 4 main types. Black small square active income. You work, you get paid. No work equals no money. Example: salary, freelance gigs, giving a class. Black small square semi-passive income. You put in effort up front, then it keeps producing. Example: online courses, books, affiliate commissions. Black small square passive income. You invest money, not time, and it generates income. Example: dividends, rental properties, interest. Black small square residual income. You build a system that runs on its own. Example: automated businesses, membership sites, apps. The biggest mistake: trying to build multiple active incomes. That will drain your time, your energy, and your mind. The smart path: start with 1 or 2 active streams, then gradually build semi-passive and passive ones. But before you even think about building income streams, you need a solid base. Black small square, know your numbers. Black small square, understand your expenses. Black small square, be free, or almost free, of bad debt. Black small square, have some savings set aside. Then, you can start expanding. Let's say you have a stable job, active income. You could start creating content around a topic you know. Write articles. Start a YouTube channel. Give online workshops. This builds visibility, which can lead to semi-passive income over time. Or you could learn about index funds and start putting a small percentage of your income into investments. No need to be rich, just consistent. Another route: create a digital product, an ebook, a mini course, a toolkit. If it solves a real problem, people will buy it. And every sale plants a seed that continues growing. You could also generate income through affiliate marketing. Recommend tools, books, or apps you use. If someone buys through your link, you earn. It may seem small, but over time, it scales. Got extra space? rent it out, have creative skills, offer freelance services, have a strong network, connect people and charge for it. The options are endless. But it's not about doing everything. It's about doing what makes sense for you, what doesn't drain you, what you can sustain long term. And most importantly, every income stream you build should have a purpose. Not just make more money, but build a life with more freedom, choice, and balance. Because the real goal of having multiple incomes is not to be rich. It's to stop depending on anyone. It's being able to say no without fear. It's being able to adapt, pivot, reinvent if you need to. Here's a key insight. Not all income sources need to be big. Some may give you $100 per month, others $500, some just $50. But when you combine them, they become a system, a structure that brings stability. And if one fails, you don't collapse because the others are still running. That's power. So don't stress about building 10 streams of income right now. Start with one, then another, step by step. No rush, just vision. Because every extra stream of income you build is one step closer to your freedom. Part 8. The Plan. How to design your financial freedom step by step. By now, you've got everything you need. Mindset, habits, vision, strategies. But if you don't turn that into a clear plan, you won't move forward. Because even the best car gets lost without direction. So let's wrap this up with what matters most. A real, adaptable, personal plan. Not a fantasy. A practical roadmap you can start today. Step 1. Take an honest snapshot of where you are now. Don't lie to yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. Just look with full responsibility. Black small square, how much do you earn? Black small square, how much do you spend? Black small square, where does your money go? Black small square, do you have debt? What kind? Black small square, do you save? Black small square, do you have any extra income, even a little? This step is uncomfortable for most people, but it's essential. You can't build a plan if you don't know where you're starting from. Step 2. Define what financial freedom means for you. Not everyone wants millions. Maybe you just want enough to work less, to travel more, to take care of your family, to launch a business without fear. What kind of life do you want? Now estimate. How much would that life cost per month? $2,000? $3,500? $5,000? That number is your first financial freedom goal. To have your passive or automated income cover that amount. Step 3. Eliminate what's holding you back. Review your spending and habits. Black small square, are there debts draining you? Black small square, expenses you can cut without hurting your quality of life? Black small square, things you buy just to fit in? Start cleaning up your finances. Not just to save, but to give your money direction. Every dollar you free up is a soldier you can send to work for you. Step 4. Build a simple financial tracking system. You don't need fancy apps. A basic Excel sheet works just fine. Split your money into at least 3 buckets. Black small square, fixed expenses, rent, bills, essentials. Black small square, savings/investment. Black small square, discretionary, fun, treats, extras. Know where you stand at all times. Know where your money is going. because a plan you don't track is useless. Step 5. Build your safety net. Your peace of mind fund. Your financial airbag. Minimum 3 to 6 months of your essential expenses. This is non-negotiable. Not just in case. This is what lets you sleep better. Negotiate better. Decide better, because you're not acting from fear. Step 6. Start a side income, no matter how small. Don't wait to have time. Use whatever you've got. 1 hour a day, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Black small square, what do you know how to do? Black small square, what can you offer? Black small square, what do you know that others don't? Black small square, what problem can you solve? Start something. Even if it's messy. Even if it's small. Just start building flow from a second source. That's your first step toward freedom. Step 7. Learn to invest. Slowly but consistently. Don't wait until you're rich. Don't go all in overnight. Don't follow hype blindly. Start learning. Black small square index funds. Black small square crypto if you're into it, but stay smart. Black small square real estate. Black small square digital businesses. But understand first. Never invest in something you don't get. Your best investment will always be your own education. Step 8. Create weekly and monthly financial rituals. Black small square once a week. Review your numbers, your choices, your direction. Black small square once a month. Adjust the plan, celebrate wins, fix what's off track. Because what you don't measure, you can't improve. These rituals keep you awake and focused. Step 9. Protect your energy and your vision. Don't share your plans with people who don't get it. Don't explain your dreams to people who mock them. Your freedom is yours, not theirs. Surround yourself with people who want to grow too. Learn from them. Support them. Let them support you. Step 10. Be patient, consistent, and flexible. This isn't a one-week project. It's a years-long journey. But every step counts. Every habit. Every saved dollar. Every new income stream. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Financial freedom isn't just about having money. It's about not depending. It's about having options. It's about deciding how you live. And that is a gift only you can give yourself. You don't need to be rich to start. But you do need to start, if one day you want to stop living in survival mode. So this is your map. Make it your own. Don't wait for Monday, or the first of the month, or for everything to be perfect. Start with what you have, from where you are today. Because every step you take toward your freedom is a step you'll never regret.